What's up, y'all? Welcome to the channel. I'm Sherelle if you're new. This video is obviously about Thanksgiving dinner, as you can tell by the title. And this year, I am hosting Thanksgiving at my house. Yep, I'm real grown now. I don't just have to make the macaroni, or I don't just have to bring the cold drinks. I'm doing everything. So right here, you see me cleaning off my turkey wings. I had them soaking in some water and some vinegar. And now that I got them clean, I'm just going to go through and trim off all of the extra skin around the turkey wings. Just so, one, they'll fit in the pan better. And I don't like the extra skin. See how I got it all nice and trimmed up? That's how you want your turkey wings to look. The skin on them, they just be, I don't know, it just gets slimy. It doesn't cook up good, in my opinion. You don't have to do this. This is completely optional. Some of my turkey wings have the tip on them. So on the ones that do have the tip, I'm going to make sure that I'm getting all the extra skin off the wing part as well as the tip part. Then after we get it all nice and trimmed up, we're going to move on to our seasonings. I'm going to start with seasoning the ham first to get it out of the way so I can have more room. And with the ham, I got a bone-in ham. So you really don't have to put a lot of seasoning on this. I just rubbed it down really good with some oil and sprinkled some black pepper on top. The bone inside the ham is where you get your seasoning from. See that? That's all the seasoning that you're going to need, really. So you just make sure everything is nicely coated with the oil and the black pepper. And then, and not for nothing, you don't even have to put black pepper on there. I just like black pepper on my ham. Some people like brown sugar, all that. I just did the black pepper. That's all you need. And of course, you don't need any salt because ham is already salty enough. Then you just wrap it really tightly in aluminum foil, and then that's going to be it. The ham is done. Now that we got the ham wrapped up and put in the refrigerator, we're going to go ahead and start seasoning these turkey wings. So I'll put a little bit of oil on my turkey wings as well, and the oil just helps the seasoning to stick. When it comes to your turkey wings, just like any other thing that you cook in your house, you can season it how you want. I chose to use salt, black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, poultry seasoning, Nature's Own seasoning, and I had some Kinder's brown butter garlic seasoning. And I also added a pack of brown gravy. I split one pack between the two pans, and then I used some Lipton French onion recipe soup. And I split one pack of that between the pans also. That gives more flavor, and it's also going to help kind of make like a little gravy with the turkey wings to go over your rice as well. Then once you have everything seasoned, you just going to go in with your hands. You can wear gloves if you want to. I choose not to wear them, but I know some people don't like to get their hands dirty. I don't mind washing my hands, so I don't wear gloves. To each his own. But you really want to make sure you pick up each turkey wing individually and rub that meat down. Okay, you want to get all that seasoning on every inch of that turkey wing because that is going to help make every bite taste good. So you pick up your turkey wings and you just got to massage it in real good. Once you get everything nice and coated, that's when you just cover it with your choice of either the bell peppers, the seasoning blend. I choose to use both. But if you don't care for like the strong bell pepper taste, you don't have to do this at all. You can skip it. Once again, however you like your meat, that's how you do it. I love bell pepper and onions. The seasoning blend is just celery, bell pepper, and onion. And I also add the pepper blend, which is bell pepper and onion, because it's more flavor. Why not? After I cover everything, I used the whole bag of the seasoning blend, and I believe I just used half the bag of the pepper and onions because it was already enough onions and pepper and celery in the seasoning blend. So I really didn't have to use the whole thing, but it just really enhances the flavor. It really helps. So I put a lot. That I love peppers with my turkey wings, and then they cook down, so it looks like a lot now when it's on the pan, but after it cooks down, it's not even that much for real. So you can go heavy handed and it'll be fine, I promise you. But this is going to take your turkey wings from being bland to flavorful, because if you eat turkey needs a lot of help. It really don't taste like nothing. It's not like chicken. turkey needs a lot of help. So these extra steps matters. I also went in and added a couple tablespoons of butter. This is gonna help that gravy taste better, and then it keeps the turkey from being dried out as well. Then when after you finish adding your butter in there, you make sure that I don't even know how much I added. I just put some little dollops in there. I'm I'm not a chef, so I don't really know. I just be winging it really. When the ancestors tell me that's enough butter, that's when I stop. But you want to make sure the most important thing is that you have your pan sealed up tightly. So you want to make sure you go all around the pan and pinch the edges so that the steam does not get out. You want the steam to stay inside your turkey wings because that's going to help them stay tender. And so I just made sure I had everything nicely sealed up really tight. And then I just popped these in the refrigerator for tomorrow. And then I boiled about a dozen eggs so I could make devil eggs. And while the eggs were boiling, I just went ahead and started peeling me some yams because, like I said, we hosting Thanksgiving, baby. We grown. We ain't doing no canned yams, even though them canned yams be good too. But I just wanted to take the initiative and, just take the extra step. It's Thanksgiving. So I peeled 2 bags of these sweet potatoes so that I can make some homemade yams. Once I got them all peeled, I chopped them up, and these are the sizes that you want. You want big chunks. You don't want to cut them too thin or too small because then they'll get too tender and they'll just turn into mush. So that's what my yams looking like. Now we're going to cut up the cabbage. And if you true to the channel or not new to the channel, you done seen me make cabbage a plethora of times. So I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this part. You just want to make sure you cut that core out and then you go through and chop up your cabbage. Get out that core and then all the stems on the leaves. And then you just do some big chunks because, cabbage shrinks down when you're cooking it. Next, we're going to get on this cheese for the macaroni. And I'm grating my own cheese. I got 2 blocks of mild cheddar, 1 block of Colby Jack, and I also had a block of Gouda, which I forgot. You'll see in the video. I'm going to go back in later when I remember that I had it and add it in. I like to spray my grater down with some non-stick spray. I don't know if it makes a difference because I never tried it without the non-stick spray, but it seems to help. So you can do it or not do it. I don't think it makes a difference, but it helps the cheese glide better, in my opinion. So I'm getting all my cheese grated down. And my boy came in to help. I'm so thankful for that. Now let's get on to the sauce for the cheese. First, we start off with a whole stick of butter. And I'm a roux girl. So once the butter is nicely melted, you sprinkle in some flour. Once again, I don't know. I don't measure. I'm going to say probably half a cup because I'm making a huge pan of macaroni. So we just going to say half a cup of flour. I really just shook some in there. And you want to whisk it until it's no more chunks. Some people like to use eggs to bind their macaroni. I don't like eggs because it kind of makes it too stiff. I don't know. It makes it like you got to slice the macaroni cake on your plate. And I don't like that. So I like to use the roux. Granted, you don't have to use either because the cheese is going to stick together anyway. I just like, I don't know. That's just how I make it. So you get it, whisk it nice until it's nice and smooth. And then you go in with your heavy cream. And like I said, I'm making a big pan. So I'm going to use I really use the whole thing of whipping cream and some whole milk. I normally drink lactate milk, but when I'm making macaroni, it tastes better when I use whole milk. So that's what I use. And then we're going to go back in and whisk that together some more until it's nice and evenly incorporated before we start adding our cheese. I also sprinkled in some seasoning salt and paprika. And now it's time to add the cheese. I'm starting with the big chunks that I had left over from the grating. And I'm going to add pretty much all of this, but I'm going to save some for the top of the macaroni. Had my cheese nice and creamy. And then I remembered that I had this Gouda. So I had to go ahead and shred that up and add that to the cheese sauce, which is fine because the Gouda actually melted real fast. I can't believe I forgot that I had this cheese. But I'm so glad I remember because you need this. I wish they had smoked Gouda because I would have preferred that. So if you see smoked Gouda, get smoked Gouda. But I had to get what I had to get what they had. So they only had Gouda. Apparently everybody know about the smoked Gouda. But once you get your cheese sauce nice and creamy like this, I'm letting that Gouda melt down a little bit more because I did bigger chunks. But it didn't take long at all. You just want to make sure your cheese sauce is nice and smooth. And the reason why I prefer to grate my own cheese is because it's not as gritty as when you do the bag shredded cheese. And that came with just making macaroni so long. So once it's nice and creamy like this, you just go ahead and pour it over your pasta and mix everything until it's nice. See how that looks? Nice and creamy. You just want to mix, 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 mix until every noodle is covered. I mixed for about 3 to 5 minutes. I ain't gonna hold you. I was mixing. 5 minutes might be a stretch, but at least 3 minutes now. You really gotta mix until it looks like that. Everything is covered. You see me. You see me. After I get it pan smoothed out in the pan, I add the rest of that cheese that we saved from earlier, and I just sprinkle some paprika on the top. And we all know paprika don't taste like none. It's just for color, but it's necessary. So do this. I won't steer you wrong. I promise. Do it. I covered my macaroni with aluminum foil and stuck that in the refrigerator. And now we're going to get on to these deviled eggs. And they must have knew it was Thanksgiving because I can't peel an egg to save my life. But they turned out good. For me, great. Some of them a little raggedy, but that's okay. They still taste good. Here, I'm just cutting them in half, getting all the yolk out. Once you get the yolk in your bowl, you want to break it down until it's like that. And then you go in with your filling. To make the filling, you just need some mayonnaise, mustard, and relish. I like to use sweet relish. Some people like to use dill relish, which tastes more pickly. I'm not a big pickle fan. So I use this sweet relish and then I sprinkled in a little bit of seasoning salt. This is the consistency you want. You don't want it too watery, but you don't want it too thick. So like I say, I don't really know measurements. It's just by eyeball. You just eyeball it. And then you get all your eggs filled. And this is what they look like. My camera angle is off, but you can see a little bit. You see enough. And then you just sprinkle the top with paprika. Once again, it don't taste like nothing, but it makes them look pretty. And this is the finished product. They look real good. I only ate 4 of them. Cover them with aluminum foil. And they're going into the fridge for tomorrow. And continuing on with our lengthy Thanksgiving dinner. Or this could be Thanksgiving or Christmas. We're just going to title this video Holiday. Because when y'all see this, Thanksgiving already over with. But you can cook this for Christmas too. Making the sugar for the yams. I had a little corner left of brown sugar in my cabinet. So I just went on and used the rest of that. But I actually pulled out my measuring cup because I plan on making my yams like this from now on because they turned out so good. So I got 2 cups of brown sugar, 2 cups of white sugar. And I had a little bit of cinnamon left, so I just went ahead and emptied that. But I added some cinnamon, nutmeg, vanilla, and syrup. That's all I added to my mixture. And then we just let it melt. I cooked this low and slow so that the sugar didn't burn, but I wanted everything to melt. So I cooked this on low and I just sat here and stirred it until everything was melted. Until it was like a nice, smooth, non-gritty consistency. I forgot. I also added a little, however much that is, of honey and a splash. Maybe half a cup of orange juice, but this is how you want it to look. And I thought I was recording myself pour it over, but I didn't. But it's what the yams look like. It's the next morning, 8:26 a.m. I'm going to go ahead and throw my turkey wings in the oven. I added some chicken broth to the bottom of my pan. And I cooked these for about 4 hours on 375. Remember to seal your pan back. I really should have added this chicken broth last night, but I forgot. So everything is in the oven. My turkey wings are on the bottom. The top left is the ham and the macaroni is on the right. Now we're going to get to this cabbage. I'm frying up some bacon for flavor, and I'm just going to add in my cabbage once the bacon is cooked up. By this time, the macaroni is done. It only took like 45 minutes. We just needed to heat it back up really because everything is already cooked. And so I took out the macaroni and I swapped that out for the yams. Now, the yams took about an hour. Those took a little long to get tender, and I think it's because I had them on the top. If I had them on the bottom, they wouldn't have took that long. But the turkey wings are on the bottom, and that's the start of the show, so they needed the bottom. This is what the macaroni look like. I tasted that little corner right there you see in the corner. I had to get me a little taste test, and it was amazing, but this me. So, of course, it was good. The cabbage cooked down. I stirred it up. And, you know, cabbage makes their own liquid, so you really didn't have to add the chicken broth. I just added a little splash for flavor. And in my cabbage, the only thing that I use for seasoning is sugar, salt, seasoned salt, and black pepper. That's all, that's it, because that bacon is really the flavor. So that's all I added to my cabbage, and then those were pretty much done. Right here, they probably needed about a good 20 more minutes. But cabbage don't take long, and like I said, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on cabbage because y'all seen me cook cabbage a lot. We eat a lot of cabbage in my house. Y'all, this the next day. I'm a horrible vlogger because once that food got done, we just ate. So this how the macaroni turned out. The cabbage, the cornbread, this the deviled egg, and this the turkey wings, and the yams. Everything was a 10 out of 10. But yeah, y'all, we had just a good old time yesterday. I had about 12 people over here, so we had a good time. It's just when the food was done and everybody started pulling up, it was time to eat, and I was hosting, so I couldn't vlog and host and do all that. But we had a great time. The food was good. So good. I'm so proud of myself. So I made the turkey wings. I made macaroni and cheese, the ham, the cabbage. I made rice, deviled eggs, banana pudding. My grandma brought some dressing. And she brought red velvet cake. What else did we have? That's it. I think everything was good. Yeah. Turkey wings, ham, macaroni and cheese, cabbage, rice, yams, deviled eggs. That was it. And so it was about 12 of us over here. Like I said, we sat around, ate, drank, had some good conversation, some good laughs. We sat out by the burn barrel. And yeah, I was just enjoying time with my family. So I didn't end the vlog properly. I didn't even show y'all the food. I had to see the leftovers, and it's barely any food left. It's none left now. So yeah, I just did not want to end the vlog with y'all seeing me stir that cabbage. I wasn't even going to do y'all like that. So I just got off work, and I'm about to go out here and kick it with my folks because my parents are still here. And yeah, so thank you again for clicking on the video. Hit a like for your girl because it's free. It costs you nothing to hit that button. Subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see y'all in the next video. Thank y'all for watching.